This is the new Big Bend Bronco with the Sasquatch package.
Crap. Switches, I've not figured them out yet. And this guy is so much taller than me. Oh. This is the new Badlands Bronco. It doesn't have the Sasquatch package, but it's already a little sassy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Backroad Driver.
We're the Mizer Brothers. I'm Sam.
And I'm Brad. In today's video, we're gonna talk about a non-Sasquatch and a Sasquatch Bronco. This has already had some 35-inch tires added to it, and we're gonna show you how to sass up your non-Sas Bronco and show you what all it takes to do that and some of the little quirks that are involved and what you don't get with a non-Sas package.
We have already driven both of these Broncos. We'll put a link to those reviews down in the description.
This is the Badlands 4-door non-Sasquatch from the factory with the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder and the manual transmission. The owner of this Bronco has already upgraded to 35-inch tires and some custom RTR wheels. We'll take a look at all this a lot closer in just a second. This is a 4-door Big Bend with the Sasquatch package and the 2.7 liter twin turbo V6.
The new Bronco Sasquatch package is pretty awesome. It comes with some very unique features, beginning with 35-inch tires and factory beadlock wheels. It also has a 10mm lift from the factory. Extra wide Sasquatch fender flares to cover these big tires, and electronic front and rear locking diffs.
So the combination of 35-inch tires and a 10mm lift on a Sasquatch Bronco should be 2 inches taller than a non-Sasquatch Bronco, but this non-Sasquatch Bronco already has the 35s. So we've already swallowed up a little bit of that ride height discrepancy. Those are all the differences for the Sasquatch that you can see, but there's some other details that you may not notice, and we're gonna cover those in this video.
Did you know the cost of the Sasquatch package varies depending on which model we're talking about? On the base model, it's $5,000. On this Badlands model, it would have been $2,500. There's standard features on higher packages, and so that value changes depending on which model you're talking about.
We parked these two Broncos side by side for today's video to give you a feel for the overall ride height difference and the overall look difference.
These RTR wheels that are actually for the Ford Ranger fit right up on the Ford Bronco. They are a 17x9 with a 0 offset, and these have the same size tires as your Sasquatch Bronco. Just in case you're curious, these are BF Goodwrench KO2s, 315/7017. Let me know what you think about these RTRs on this Bronco down in the comments. What are you doing, Brad?
Just doing some scientific testing to see how much different these fender flares are on the Sasquatch versus the non-Squatch. And my hand measuring tape says it's about 2 inches difference. So this is gonna cover all the tire, and as this suspension articulates up, it's gonna tuck in nice. Whereas this, on the other hand, if you go off-roading right now, even with the tire articulating up and in, it's still gonna hit your fender flare. So if you do this, if you just go with the tires and you don't do the lift, you're gonna wanna remove your fender flares before you go off-roading. Then you're gonna sling stuff everywhere and scratch up your paint. But if you wanna have 35s, baby, without the lift, you gotta pay to play.
Some people may not like the look of this with the tire sticking out past the fender, but I think this poke is awesome. So what do you have to do to physically put a set of 35s onto the new Bronco? Well, the first thing you're gonna need to do is remove these crash bars.
They're not there.
So this crash bar is missing now. They've been taken off, and these unbolt, unlike on some other Ford products in the past. You also have one in the front that needs to be removed.
It's already gone off of this Bronco, and they put the bolt back in. Always a good idea to put your bolts back in and store them there instead of in a drawer, because you'll not find them.
So when you're trying to remove this crash bar and you try to slide it out, it's gonna hit. So you're also gonna have to remove this end cap to get this crash bar out and then throw this back on. So under normal driving conditions, this new setup of the 35s on the non-Squatch is gonna be perfect for driving down the road and hitting the back roads or whatever. But when you get true off-road, you're probably gonna have some problems with this hitting on this fender flare, and these may need to be changed out to something different. On the Sasquatch package, it doesn't even come with crash bars from the factory. You do have the mounting holes and everything, so you could add them, but they would hit for sure on these 35-inch tires from the factory. You could take these off and put a set of 33s and throw some crash bars back on, but I don't think that's the direction anybody's going. Most people are going to be modifying these fender flares and trying to stuff some 37s on here.
We're going to prove that these actually fit on a non-Sas without that 10mm lift. So Sam's going to go ahead and cut it all the way. We've got 100% clearance on that crash bar, and the other way, 100% clearance there as well, and the offset does help, so it does work. A few other details that you're going to have to deal with when you increase to a 35-inch tire on a non-Sas. This is the Sas Big Bend. You can tell that this third brake light is over the tire, and it actually on the side view here sticks out into the tire a little bit so that you could see that from a lot of vehicles from behind. And it's a law that you have to have a third brake light, otherwise I don't think anybody would care. A lot of Jeep guys will put that in this wheel because of this same situation. But if we came over here, you could tell on this non-Sas Badlands that when you bolt your spare tire back on and it's a 35, you've got a little bit of a clearance issue now where you're not going to see it as well. It doesn't stick out over the tire and it's not quite high enough. You can buy an extender that where you remove this, install the extender, bolt it back on, and it does pick it up higher. It's not going to tip it out over the tire that much, but that is something you can do to fix that problem. The other thing you get on the Sas package is this extended, or elongated as I like to say, backup camera post, I guess. It actually sticks out because they know this tire's bigger, they know this offset's bigger, so this kind of comes out, and when you look at your backup camera, you don't have any problems being able to see directly down. And sadly, over here on the non-squats that you put this new larger wheel and tire package on, this is not gonna stick out far enough from the factory. You're gonna have to find some kind of extender because this right here actually picks up the wheel and tire right now. That's a very wide angle lens. So you actually pick up some of this in your rear view when you're doing your backups. Now, it's not a huge problem, but it's something people are gonna gripe about, and they're not gonna know that until after they get their aftermarket wheels and 35s on there.
So the factory Sasquatch package is probably a little bit cleaner, and it's obviously well thought out, and it's not going to give you any problems. Everything's going to work as intended. But if you do go this route and throw some 35s on and work out those little kinks yourself, you're going to have to think a little bit. You can add a little lift yourself. You may get a little bit taller of a Bronco in the end. You can actually get the wheels and tires that you want instead of what Ford offers, but it's not going to come easy. There are certain things you're going to have to do. The other thing to keep in mind is the front and rear locking diffs. Those may or may not matter to you, but if you want those, it's probably going to be cheaper to just get the Sasquatch package. If that doesn't concern you, it may be better to just throw some 35s on and roll with it. Now, you can add the rear e-locker on the non-Sasquatch as a standalone option. It may come with a couple other things, but by the time you do that, you're already looking at close to Sasquatch money. So the Sasquatch package is one of those packages that makes the most sense on the Bronco, and dollar for dollar, it's pretty much worth it.
So let's talk about what it takes to lift the non-Sasquatch Bronco. It's actually not that hard, and you can actually get something a little bit cooler than the Sasquatch package when you do it. TC Customs already has a kit on their website. We're gonna put the link down in the description, and we'll have a little promo code in there so you can get a little discount. But what they've got is a lift that actually raises the front 2 inches and the rear 1 inch. So your rear will actually be taller than a Sasquatch, and your front will be a lot taller than a Sasquatch, so it actually levels your vehicle out. Did you know that the Bronco has rake where the front is down and the rear is up just a little bit, just like the F-150s? We have F-150s on this channel. They all get a level on them. It just looks cooler. Ford puts the rake on to improve braking and aerodynamics, improves the miles per gallon a little bit, but we like how it looks with the level. So when you get this kit that's down in the description, you're gonna level that thing up just a little bit. It's not nose up in the air, but it's just more perfectly level. So it'll be a 2 inch block in the front, 1 inch block in the rear. That kit is only about $100 right now. And if you add that to your non-Sasquatch Bronco with your 35s, you're not gonna have to worry about any rubbing. And you're gonna have a little bit of bragging rights, a little one up on the guys with the Sasquatch, because you're sitting just a little bit higher with that nose in the air. I don't know if that makes you a little bit better. Maybe it makes you cooler, maybe it don't. Now, we're in no way telling you to go buy 35s and put a small level on and you'll have a better off-roading vehicle than Ford's Sasquatch Package. Ford absolutely nailed it on that package. It's one of the coolest things you can do to your Bronco, but if you want to pick your custom wheels and you got a tire that you just love, like a Nitto Ridge Grappler or something, this is something you can do to get that cool look with a few little inconveniences, and your performance is not going to suffer a lot, but it will make your Bronco be custom.
So does this non-squatch with 35s without any lift at all look better than the Sasquatch package over here that already has 35s from the factory and it has that small lift? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments.
You can check out videos where we reviewed both of these Broncos right here in the end card just a second. I think I'll put it like right over in here. Sorry. I always wanted to do that. We'll also put that link down in the description. While you're in, what are you doing? While you're down in the description, check out that TC Customs link. That promo code will work for a discount on anything on their site. Guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.